Super awkward FUN-CHIVE. You're listening to the Super Awkward FUN-CHIVE. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Super Awkward FUN-CHIVE with Elle, Latham, and no one else. So yeah, we're doing things a little bit differently today. Kind of doing an impromptu episode because so much is going on in the world right now. And I would have loved someone to be here to join me, but it just didn't turn out that way. I didn't really ask anyone. I didn't want to bug anyone. I think I'm losing a lot of people. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I should be truthful. Yes, I'll be truthful. I think my point of view on things in the stratosphere, in the social stratosphere, is different than a lot of other people's point of views there are people who liked me, who joined me on the show, that I don't think they would be back. But I'm not going to name names, it's all good, but that's where I'm at right now. So we're going to discuss some topics that are kind of burning right now, like I am, in 80-something degrees in my apartment, trying to cut out all of the noise. There's no way to do that, really, so let's just jump right in. This is weird, because I usually have people to bounce off of in this podcast. I don't usually do my thing by myself. Although in the very beginning, when I first started this show, I was on YouTube. It started out on YouTube, and my first episode was Random Thoughts with Elle, Latham. That's what the name of the freaking show was Random Thoughts. So I would just say random shit. And then one time, I think in the first episode, there was a spider in my bedroom. And I was like, hey, there's a spider sitting beside me and all this stuff. And then it became a part of my show. And it got awkward. So I guess eventually it turned into Super Awkward FUN-CHIVE. When people got involved, it got a little more deep. And it was like a debate show. Not a debate show, but like a dialogue. We would have a dialogue about several topics. Some industry related, some society related. It eventually got really political, and now it's super political. It's hard to listen to an episode of my show without hearing anything political. And that's not what it started out as, but it just kind of ended up there because of where things are in society. So I guess what I'm getting at is we're just another political show. And sponsored by Netflix. No, we are not. This would be when someone would come in and be like, Netflix, but not today. Oh, this is so awkward. It's even more awkward than usual, so it's going to be even more super awkward than the last episode. So again, the topics. Let's dive into that. So, the big news lately is Alex Jones. So Alex Jones has been banned from YouTube, Spotify, Apple, but not the app for the InfoWars. No, that's doing great. Facebook and probably something else I can't remember. Not Twitter yet. No, not gonna be Twitter because Jack Dorsey already said that he was not gonna get rid of him because there was no instance of hate speech or violation of the terms of services. So and it's just interesting to see that because other people have been banned or shadow banned, and other people have been suspended recently, like Peter Van Buren, and he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't disobey the terms of services. He just called someone out on their bullshit and made a funny joke that was taken out of context. And then now he doesn't have a platform. And he's down the memory hole he goes with his history in Twitter. So it's just interesting who gets banned and who doesn't, or whose speech is more important than someone else's speech. And it's just all such bullshit, really, because when it comes down to it, we did all right without Twitter. We did all right without Facebook. We had a whole lot of time. I had a lot of time from the 90s into 2008 to just be chilling, to just talk to people in a normal way, face to face. If maybe we would use AIM every once in a while when we were like, or MySpace. So MySpace was around, I think, 2007 at least. And we would just like hang out there and we would talk or something. Chat rooms could be a bitch. That could be dangerous. But I did hang out in chat rooms and met all kinds of people. So internet is great. It's like, it brings you so much information and brings so many people together. And I think that's important. I think it's great. But I think that no platform should be a monolith, and no platform should be more about government contracts than doing what's right for society and helping their customer base, helping their users. So Facebook has had dealings with the government, and Google has had dealings with the government, and Twitter definitely has deals with the government. I mean, what else could you say? It's so like ridiculous, and there's so much misinformation everywhere. And Alex Jones is a part of that. So like, my thing with Alex Jones is I don't take him seriously, and I don't think he takes himself seriously. And it's really interesting how he went from being so pro-liberty and anti-government to literally licking, maybe not literally, but he's licking the establishment's boots. He's licking Trump's boots. I don't know if Trump wears boots, but he's licking his shoes, whatever they are. And he's doing the bidding of the government. He is in league with the government now. And I don't know how you can be in league with the government on so many issues, and yet you want to bring up things like Pedogate and Sandy Hook and everything, and talk about how this is fake, or this is fake, or this is fake. And at the same time, you're just doing exactly what the government wants you to do. And so I really consider him controlled opposition at this point. Like, he was taken over at one point, and I think it was after 9/11 when he was doing his truth movement stuff. And then a lot of people fell out with him too around that time, because he changed his priorities. His priorities changed. And whether that was bought by some entity or he just wanted to sell some shit and make money, whatever he did. And a lot of people still trust him. A lot of people trust this Q character, which I don't even want to give any credence to, but I mean, I guess like that's a psyop. And I guess you could say Alex Jones is a psyop. So you just got to be careful who you put your hopes into. Like, I don't put my hopes into anyone. I don't trust literally anyone. I mean, I don't trust any of you. I don't trust the government. I don't trust anyone who says, hey, listen to me. Because anytime someone says, listen to me, instead of saying, hey, think critically and take what I say and go research and make sure that I'm saying the right thing and that everything I'm saying is true, then those are the people who can't be trusted. So there are certain people and platforms like YouTube and whatnot that I will watch their videos and I will agree with them on most things and everything. And they will say straight out, like, Don't believe me. Go do your own research. And that's what's important. I think everyone should do their own research on these topics. So, like, and nothing should be off limits either. So, if you question anything that's going on, go and look into it. Don't trust Alex Jones. Don't trust the mainstream media. Just do your own research and figure it out for yourself. And don't let your feelings get in the way of facts. That is what's ruining society, in my opinion. Part of what's ruining society right now is people getting so emotional about things in certain instances. It's funny because, like, so one of the things that he said, I'll go there because I go there, but one of the things he says is stuff about Sandy Hook. So he claimed that I wonder if I'm going to get in trouble for talking about it now. I'm not going to talk about it. I'll say he claimed crisis actors exist. I know for a fact crisis actors exist because I saw, what was her name? Namira, I think it's Namira, but I'm not really sure. But during Kuwait, like when there was a war brewing with Iraq, they put out this chick and she said, they're taking the babies out of incubators about Iraqis, soldiers. And it turned out, hey, she was this ambassador's daughter, and there was a deal with Knowles and Houghton. Is that it? Houghton and Knowles? Whatever. It was some kind of private firm. And then they had a deal with Citizens for Free Kuwait. And the whole thing was a psyop. The whole thing was bullshit. She was a crisis actor, literally a crisis actor, pretending that she saw these things, but she didn't see those things. So there are instances where they exist, where people will say things for the government, for whatever reason, that aren't true. I mean, some could argue that Alex Jones is a crisis actor in that regard, but I digress. Okay, so his thing is like, this didn't happen, there's evidence of this and that and the other. So what you do in that instance is you like look at the facts of the investigation and everything like that, and you think for yourself. You don't just take everything you see at face value, because that's gonna get you nowhere in life. So I've done some research on it, and I have questions. I have questions about so many events that have happened, including Parkland, and most recently the Vegas thing, because like we still don't know why he did that. That's kind of important, no? And the way that these people get through security all the time, I mean, it's very interesting. So it's good to question things. I'm not going to go to all the trouble of investigating everything. That's not my job. But I look to other people to do that if that's what their job is. And the media has not done that in certain cases. They'll just like drop something on a Friday. Oh, this happened with this case, and we're just going to ignore it, not talk about it, and talk about Trump's tweets. Trump tweeted this. Omarosa said that. So it's not going to happen with the mainstream media because they're in league with the government. Everyone's in league with the government, it seems, except some wonderful independent media journalists that are going to be hurt by this whole thing with Alex Jones, because it's going to go right down to everybody, because eventually you can't say anything. Like, now they're talking about dehumanizing speech. What's that? How do I dehumanize people with words? I can't do that unless you let me do that. I'm not going to... Anyway, we're going to turn into the EU. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Then there's the whole thing with the tweets. So Disney fired James Gunn for what I read to be 1,000, but I don't know if there were 1,000 because I never saw 1,000 tweets, so I can't know for sure. But a great many tweets that had pedophilia jokes in them and rape jokes, and sometimes pedophilic, child rape jokes, yeah. And then there'd be like, then there was his like responds to it. He's like, oh yeah, it's okay. It's fine, you know. And then while that's happening, I'm thinking, okay, but they've known about this for many years. And they hired him knowing about this. And also, they have hired actual pedophiles, actual convicted child molesters like Brian Peck. Shout out to Brian Peck. You're in the podcast. From Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, who's also best friends with Bryan Singer and was in the X-Men movie. So, you can say what you want. Like, that was literally a year after he got out of prison. I think he went for 13 months, too. They always get such a short sentence, don't they? And he had a bunch of charges, too. I think 7 charges. It was insane. And R. Kelly's just out there. He's just like, well, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can go to whatever country he wants and get however many chicks he wants. You know, he's whatever, you know, no problem with R. Kelly. No problem with 6ix9ine. James Gunn. I'm not putting James Gunn on a pedestal. I'm not saying that James Gunn is better than anyone else. I'm saying that everyone should be treated the same. I'm not saying everyone should be fired either. I'm not saying that people should be fired based on their tweets at all. I don't think they should. I think actions speak louder than words. Take that in. Actions speak louder than words. When did we stop saying that? When did it become words are more powerful than actions? I mean, and then they fired Roseanne too, so like they couldn't not fire him, you know, like they were fucked. They fucked themselves. Yeah, she got fired. Oh, but hey, guess who's still around? Guess who still has a show? Oh, Anthony Anderson, who was accused of assault by someone recently. His 3rd accusation in his career. The first one was a rape allegation on the set of Hustle and Flow with his AD, not the director, his AD too. And I saw an interview with him in 2005 after that whole thing went down with a radio station, and they asked him about that, and they were saying that, you know, there could be a time where you could slap a bitch down or something like that. And they just kept, you know, bringing up that kind of language, like hurting somebody for trying to hurt your money and your career. You could slap them down, basically. And I'm like, I don't think he would ever assault anyone. No way. Oh my gosh. And then, like, how many of these motherfuckers have Oscars? Like, ugh. Also the Oscars was like a fucking con by Louis B. Mayer, as we've gone over before. And he was a pedo, probably, most likely. I mean, he ruined Judy Garland's life with drugs. And maybe he wasn't as into children as he was into that particular child, but he was into a lot of stuff. He was the Harvey Weinstein of his time. So that's how I feel about that. I don't feel anyone should be fired based on what they say or put out in social media. I think that's a dangerous road to go down. And now a plane is coming. Hollywood. Okay, and then there's the whole thing now where they go and cancel people. They're always like, cancel this guy, cancel that guy, cancel Kanye for saying stuff that I don't like and agreeing with someone that I abhor. So, yeah, anyone who disagrees with you should be canceled. Wrong think. Also, like, 6ix9ine is fine, and you'll listen to his music and buy it and give him more money. Well, he'll probably be in jail pretty soon, so, oh well. I was going to talk about elections and stuff too. I think I made myself pretty clear on like elections are bullshit and waste of time. Voting machines are hackable, all that stuff. The Russiagate stuff is out of hand. It's going nowhere. We're getting closer and closer to a war in Iran, which we don't need. And that won't do anything to Trump's base, because if the Syrian strikes didn't do anything to Trump's base, I mean, it kind of threw them off a little bit, I noticed. I was like, oh wow, Alex Jones is really having a meltdown over this. He actually seems to give a shit. And then cut to like a couple of weeks later, he's like, yay, Trump! So it's just so short-lived. Any kind of criticism of Trump from the right, I mean, it's not taken seriously. Oh, he's playing 6D chess. Yeah, with the deep state. Yeah, you can play chess with the deep state. That's gonna happen. You'll win that game, sure. Meanwhile, Bibi's just hanging out with him. And Salman, is that his name? King Salman from Saudi Arabia. And they're all making bank, selling weapons to terrorists, organizations. Oh, the white helmets getting rescued by Israel, by the IDF in Syria, because Syria was done with their shit and they were at risk. Well, do we get to take that Oscar back? But I guess you could call it best propaganda film, the white helmets. I don't know. There's just so much bullshit in the world, and these presidents are not worth defending. Just stop defending them. Like, I don't even call it an administration anymore, what the U.S. has. I just call it a regime, because they'd say that about every other like Middle Eastern country. Why shouldn't I say that about them? And then also we got to think about Yemen right now. Yemen just had like a huge event happen where so many people were killed on a bus, children on a bus in Yemen, school bus. And Saudi Arabia is still in the Human Rights Council at UN. That's bullshit. That's something we should be protesting, not each other. Oh, there's where I get a lot of hate from a lot of different people, is that I don't think we should be yelling and screaming at each other when we're both getting fucked by the same people. But hey, what do I know? I've already really talked about that enough. Like, there were more demonstrations recently, and today, even on August 12th, there was a DC thing with Antifa and the Unite the Right to, and I can't be bothered anymore. I don't care. I'm not involved. This is not what I care about. I care about anti-war. I want an anti-war protest. I want anti-CIA protests. I want anti-White House protests. Like, everybody in the White House is a fucking war criminal, basically, so. James Mattis, what a piece of shit. What a piece of shit Mike Pompeo is. And now we're going to get to Julian Assange. Free Assange, because if you don't, then none of us are protected as journalists. Nope. I mean, not that I consider myself quite a journalist, but no journalist will be protected if he's not protected. Then that means the New York Times is on the chopping block. The Nation, the Atlantic, all of these publications will be on the chopping block. And anyone whom the establishment does not agree with. And that's a dangerous road to go down too. So I don't think that's fair. Julian Assange has done so much for peace, to try and achieve peace through the transparency of the government. Not just the US government, but UK, France, Saudi Arabia, like all of these other governments. Russia. So many publications have come out that just kill you. They're just like so heartbreaking to see. It's so heartbreaking to see how monstrous these people are who are the heads of state, who make all these big decisions that affect you and your life. People are starving in this country. Flint still doesn't have clean water. I'll say that again for the people in the back. Flint still doesn't have clean water. I have undergone an issue in my building, my apartment building, where our water heater broke and I had to have a really cold shower the other morning. And I thought to myself, at least I get to have a shower. At least this water isn't going to kill me. So, and not to get too personal, but my mother has a water heater problem that she's had for years. She hasn't been able to replace it. It's been very difficult for her. People don't know how hard it is for other people. But the solution isn't eating the rich. The solution is evening the playing field. The solution is taking big money out of politics. I don't see a lot of people striving for that right now. It's really interesting. Like, that used to be the main topic, like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago? 2 years ago. That was a huge topic. Like, we have to overturn Citizens United. We have to make an amendment that takes big money out of politics. But now that's not going to happen because both sides of the duopoly are benefiting from this decision. And as long as they're benefiting, nothing good is going to happen for us. And then there's the whole thing of, like, we're being poisoned. Yes, like, they are poisoning our food. Whoever they are. Whoever is getting past the FDA with these approvals of these foods with salmonella. I don't know. Like, most recently, Ritz crackers, and they had like Honey Smacks. I haven't eaten Honey Smacks since I was a child. Didn't even know they were still around. But they were like tainted. So there's tainted foods. The FDA's worthless. EPA doesn't give two shits. And now they're talking about bringing back asbestos. What is wrong with you? They're trying to kill us. The government is trying to kill us. And it's not funny. It's not cool. And we shouldn't stand for it. And then we have the Monsanto case that was recently finished with Dwayne Lee Johnson, where he was awarded $289 million from Monsanto, now called Bayer AG, because they were able to buy it's a pharmaceutical company was able to buy an agricultural, I don't know what else you would call it, agribusiness fucking shit fest of a company, Monsanto. Like, the worst company. And now we see that a jury has decided that the cancer this gentleman had was caused by glyphosate from Roundup. So we'll see what happens with that, but it's probably not going to be much of a difference it's not going to be too much of a hit financially for Bayer. I'm sure they make so much money already, and they have so many products that not everybody knows about. So you should do some research. If you want to boycott the company, I would do some research into like what they own and just stop buying it or don't buy it. I don't buy anything from Amazon. I have nothing to do with Amazon. The closest thing I get to Amazon is IMDb when I'm like looking for people in shows and stuff. And I still feel bad about that. But I don't pay for IMDb Pro anymore either, which really sucks because like you don't really know who I am from my credits. I mean, you would know if you listen to the show because Super Awkward Funcast is in there, or as it was in the web show, Super Awkward Fun Time. But you wouldn't see my face or anything, not that you probably want to. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, I had to do some things. I had to sacrifice some things so that I could live a better life, feel better about myself from day to day. I don't deal with Amazon. I don't fuck with Hulu. I really don't fuck with Hulu. They fucked me over a little bit before. I still deal with Netflix, and I feel really bad about it, but like, it's a marketplace, so it's gonna have that Obama shit, the fucking CIA shit, all this other shit over here, but then it's gonna have some other shit over here that I might be into, you know. And I liked Orange is the New Black, so sue me. Like, I like certain things. I like what I like. And I like the idea of there being a place where you can put all kinds of content. Like, what is it? Shit. I forgot the name of the freaking documentary. Unacknowledged. Unacknowledged over here. You can put some CIA propaganda over here. I don't know what. Some random thing that they made. I think for a while they had that anti-doping Russia documentary. What is it called? Icarus. I think they had that for a little while. And I was like, fuck that. I'm not watching that. Because it's just really convenient to point the finger at one country when all these other countries do the same fucking thing. So, anyway, I've been going on for only like 30 minutes, and I feel like I've gone through every topic that I can think of. Oh yeah, Kanye West. Oh yes, okay. So Kanye West had an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, and I watched the entire thing, and I get what he's saying, but he's still very slow because he supported his... My thing with him is that he supported Obama, and just because Obama was like jetted after one of his concerts or whatever, an event that he did for Obama, and he didn't get to see him afterwards or whatever, that's the only reason he doesn't like him. It's not because he doesn't care about black people or Muslims or whatever. It's because he didn't get what he wanted in a certain situation. So that's where we differ. Because like, he likes Trump, right? Because he's not supposed to like Trump. But he could have been ahead of his time and not liked Obama because you're supposed to like Obama. I'm just saying, like, he could have been ahead of the curve and been like, oh, what's going on in Yemen is a disgrace. He doesn't know what's going on in Yemen. That's the thing. These celebrities that you think know so much, and you think, oh my gosh, they're so woke about these things. I mean, not even probably, oh, I shouldn't say, but like, Donald Glover probably doesn't know everything that's going on in the Middle East. He doesn't have time. I don't blame him. He has a career. He has so much he has to do. He has so much writing that he does. He has so many different jobs. I understand if he doesn't know everything that's going on in Yemen, Saudi Arabia, and Israel and Palestine. I understand. But to pretend that you know what's going on in the world and that you are some kind of prophet, not prophet, I shouldn't say that, but like yogi or something, and you have all this wisdom to share with the universe, like Kanye has done on his Twitter and in life, in his dealings with other people, it's disingenuous. I mean, I understand if you want to know more. I wish you would learn more. But, you know, you can't be naive forever. That's the thing. That's what people want from him, is to educate himself on certain things. So I would tell him to educate himself on what the administrations have done in the past and what this administration is doing now and how they all kind of fit together. Like, it's just an extenuation of what we've already seen. But you know what? He doesn't really care. I don't think he really cares. And I don't think we should expect him to care. Or care if he cares. He's a celebrity. He makes good music sometimes and then bad music sometimes. That's life. That's how people go. But he is an artist. He brings things to you as a product. He produces things. He's not God. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. He's not some great figure who knows everything. He doesn't know everything. He barely knows anything. I mean, none of us really know everything anyway. And you shouldn't look to other people to see how you think about anything either. I mean, I agree with him on certain things, especially concerning the media and how they do thrive on fear. But I also think that the Trump regime thrives on fear as well. Just as Obama's regime thrived on fear. Just as Bush's regime thrived on fear. Just as Clinton's regime thrived on fear. They all do. They're all fear-mongering, war-mongering psychopaths, to me. Just from the factual information that I have seen and declassified information from the FBI, I can see that the FBI has some psychopaths in it as well, and so does the CIA. So what I'm getting at is basically, like, don't trust a celebrity to have all the answers. That's where we're getting so crazy in society right now, because celebrity culture is happening to a degree where people go so insane about it. Like, there are fans everywhere, and now they call themselves stans. So it's a mixture of stalker and fan. And it's from the song Stan by Eminem, which is supposed to be a cautionary tale, people. This guy is not a good guy. I mean, he's a good guy at first, but he doesn't end up a good guy. He does some really bad things in the name of fanaticism. Fanaticism is not something we should be okay with as a society. Putting people on pedestals should not be our forte. We should not want to do that. We should not want to knock them down from those pedestals either. And that's what always happens with athletes, with singers, with actors, all kinds. Like Johnny Depp, more recently, like, people are saying cancel him and he's horrible and this and that. And it's just like, people make mistakes, and these people are human beings, and they have different lives than we do. And we should not emulate them. We should just go your own way, as Fleetwood Mac said. You can go your own way. I'm not going to sing anymore. That wasn't really singing. What else? What do I want to say positively about? Positively, I think the universe is infinite and beautiful, and there are a lot of beautiful and wonderful people on this planet, and they don't always have a big platform. So I think it's great to shine a light on the people making a difference, a positive impact on society, and maybe not so much focusing on the people who make you feel horrible about yourself and your place in society. And not always looking to others to be like, ugh, I hate them, and I don't ever want to be like this person, and this person annoys me. Then ignore them. Like, don't give them that satisfaction of being talked about. If you don't want somebody to affect you in any way, don't let them affect you in any way. Live your own life, do your own thing. Now I feel like I'm doing an advice show or something. I'm not trying to. But that's what it's coming out as, because I'm just one person. And nobody's like interrupting me like, oh yeah. So Hollywood, okay, I can say from Hollywood, we have a lot of shit to get done in Hollywood. I think it's going to take all of us working together to weed out the really bad elements of Hollywood. So the thing that people don't want to talk about a lot is the pedophilia that it permeates throughout Hollywood, and it's a blight on the history of Hollywood. And it should be talked about at every turn. It, as well as in politics, like pedogate is throughout different industries, in churches, not just the Catholic Church, but Mormon Church, Scientology, that fake church. Yes, Scientology is a cult. Come at me, I don't care. They're all cults in a way, but that one's a real, pyramid scheme. Hopefully it'll go the way of NXIVM once everything comes out. So it's just really sad to know, after living here for so long and after waiting and waiting for the Harvey Weinstein thing to blow, I waited so many years for that. And it was just one piece of the puzzle. They're not going to go any deeper. They don't want to name too many names. And people will be protected. And rape kits will go unused, as they have. How's that for sick? And the LAPD will allow things to happen over and over again. And the NYPD, all of the PDs. So that's sad. But it's good to focus on the positive things. Like what? We're not all bad people. And even the bad people aren't bad people. They've just had different experiences and are psychologically damaged in various ways. And I empathize with them. Even the worst of them, the ones who are looked at the worst. I empathize with them. I mean, it's the system that needs to change. And it won't change overnight. And CBS, what the hell? Nobody's talking about that anymore either. Nobody's talking about the Anthony Anderson thing. Nobody's talking about CBS. They'll talk about it for a minute and then they'll just move on to the next thing. And that's what media does. It's so sad. I used to want to write for one of these publications like Variety or Hollywood Reporter, but once you see how deep in they are with these elite corrupt people, it's hard to want to really have anything to do with them anymore. Oh, here's another thing. I don't want to cancel Quentin Tarantino necessarily. I just want people to recognize what happened. And when they talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is about the frickin' Sharon Tate murders, because they murdered the baby, So murders. When they talk about that, we've already seen this story before. It's been exploited enough. We don't need it again. But I guess we do. And then 2, he literally choked a woman in a scene, which is insane. That's insane. But it's okay in Hollywood for a guy to choke a woman. And he did a similar thing with Uma Thurman. And he put her in danger. Her life was in danger. She could have died in that accident that happened on that road, on Kill Bill. And most importantly, I don't know most importantly, but interestingly enough, he covered for Harvey Weinstein for years. His buddy. You think that he should be rewarded with your attention? with your accolades, I don't think you should. I'm not saying cancel him. I'm saying ignore him for a little while. Let's just ignore some of these motherfuckers. I met the guy. I was really disappointed. He was nice to me. I thought that was a big moment in my life that I would cherish. And now I find out he was monster adjacent. Ugh. And when I found out, you know what's weird is that when I found out that he choked Diane Kruger in Inglourious Bastards, nothing in my mind was like, huh. Well, actually, a little bit of something was in my mind was like, huh, that's kind of weird. Then I watched him, like, I guess he thought he could monitor her better or make sure that she didn't have any problems. But you know what? He probably got off on that shit. They get off on that shit. Like, Stanley Kubrick was a total piece of fucking shit to... What was her name? Shelley Duvall in The Shining, and nobody cared. He tortured her on set. She was, like, damaged psychologically from that event. Oh, he's just eccentric, you know. But he has so many great movies. But Picasso was a great painter, and a lot of great artists were pieces of fucking shit. It's a weird thing. It's so weird because it's such a weird thing to talk about. Because we are all people. That's what it comes down to. And you just shouldn't put anyone on a pedestal, as I said. So then that way you don't get disappointed when you hear that somebody's a child molester or, like, has done awful things, has choked people, or what have you. Then you can be like, oh, well, I didn't like him that much, or, I didn't know them, so who cares? Like, I met TJ Miller once. Yeah, I met him in a comedy club during an open mic. I met him. I shook hands with him. I'm not surprised to hear about his history, if it happened. We don't know. I'm not surprised he's a dick on set, which is true. But how long did he have to go before someone was like, no, stop that? How long does this behavior get to continue before someone stops it? And realizes this is a place of work. Yes, it may be a movie or maybe a series, but it's still a place of work and we have to be professional. I mean, these are SAG actors, people. Like, these are people who know the rules. Another fucking example of a fucking piece of shit. Marlon Brando, in that film that he got so much acclaim for, Bertolucci's Last Tango in Paris with Maria Schneider. Schneider. And that poor child. She went through so much bullshit on that movie. She claims that she was basically raped. I mean, what happened to her was basically an assault. And the director facilitated it, and Marlon Brando went with it, and who knows how many other people he has made that uncomfortable. But he is revered. He's revered. Everybody loves him. Can't say anything bad about him. Oh, did he suck off? I can't remember. He sucked off Richard Pryor, according to a lot of people. And then you got Charlie fucking Chaplin, had almost three child brides. Almost. I mean, the last one was at least 18. Good job. And that was really hard for me because, like, everybody loved that guy. And was praising him, and he's such a great director, and he did so much great stuff for cinema, and the silent films, like, wouldn't exist without him, or whatever. And then you read all this stuff, like, real factual information, not factual information necessarily, because there are allegations of stuff from ex-wives, and who knows if they're lying or telling the truth. I don't know. I wasn't there, obviously. But there are allegations that he was drunk all the time and he was really rude and abusive with his wives. And, it's just... He's an odd one. I can't get on board. And then you see when somebody vandalizes a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it's fucking Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump is pissed. He's horrible. I know this. He's probably a pedophile. I mean probably. The probability of that is pretty good. He knew one. Jeffrey Epstein. He hung out with him, then denounced him, but beforehand said that he had an active social life with young women. He liked women on the younger side or something like that. And then he was friends with the Clintons, so I don't know. And they were into some weird shit. But, his star was vandalized. Bill Cosby's star is fine. Kevin Spacey's star is fine. Louis B. Mayer's star is fine. And Charlie Chaplin's star is just fine. Everybody's star is fine except Donald Trump's. So, what does that say? It says a lot about Hollywood. It's like Hollywood revered a lot of horrible people in their actual lives, in their personal lives. They were not great people. They were given accolades. And the Hollywood star of the Walk of Fame is such a fucking scam anyway, because you have to pay $35,000 or some shit for it, and it's usually the studio who pays for it, and then it's when you're promoting a movie most of the time, or a series. It's all bullshit. Hell, Ryan Seacrest has one. Give me a break. I can't. Doesn't that one dude, I can't remember his name, but he had a scandal where he was with a loofah. Fuck. I don't remember that guy's name, but he used to be on an entertainment show. But he has a star. That's ridiculous. John Tesh has a star. That's fucking weird. There was a rumor back in the 90s that he was an alien. I don't know if it was a serious rumor. I just heard it all the time. Anyway, I'm getting really hot right now. It's so hot in here. But I love my patrons. I love my listeners. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. I tried. It's a sad world most of the time, but I think we can get through it. If we band together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. That's what you should come away with from this episode. We should all be together as one. Unify everybody. And see what happens. So you can look up my social media stuff if you want. Basically, I'm just on Twitter and YouTube. So, at Elle Latham on Twitter. And aka Elle Latham on YouTube. I'm on Minds, but I don't really do anything there. I migrated, but I didn't do anything. I might post this on Minds, though. Yeah, sure I will. Shout out to people I enjoy on the YouTube platform. I want to shout out to Jimmy Dore, who usually gets stuff right. I don't think he's right all the time. It's I don't understand the difference between looking at things factually in regard to Syria and that, a fake chemical attack versus a fake shooting. We don't want to we'll look at the fake chemical attack and be like, yeah, that's fake. But you can't question anything with regard to mass shootings because you have a blind spot there. And I get it, it's kids, it sucks. But kids were claimed to have been killed in this chemical attack too. So you can't really pick and choose like that. So I wish Jimmy Dore, I'm going to shout out to you right now and just hope that you look more into various shootings and see for yourself what you think with the facts and everything. So it's there's some interesting discrepancies in a lot of this information. The Vegas one is really weird, and the Parkland one is so weird too. So yeah, just question everything, basically. Question everything that you hear from the news, the fake news, the propagandists. Okay, shout out to Luke Rudowski from We Are Change. I love We Are Change. I don't love everything he says, but I agree that, he is pretty smart about telling you to look up your own stuff. Like, don't trust him, just look up what you want to see, the research, do your own research and everything like that. So that's really good. Shout out to Corbett, James Corbett from Corbett Report. I love Corbett Report. Great documentaries. I recommend them entirely. Like the whole enchilada. All of them are great. Factually based. Very important to look at facts over feelings, and he does that all the time. He's based in Japan, from Canada. He's from Canada. He's based in Japan. Another one is Tim Black, my dude, Tim Black. Oh, he can be on the wrong side of so many issues, but he's willing to look into things, and he's willing to think about things and to look at it critically. Like, think critically and not deplatform people, and he doesn't agree with holding people back from saying what they want to say. And I applaud that, and I applaud him in his new studio. Shout out to you, Tim Black. I love everything not everything you do, but I love what you're about. I love your personality. And I think you do a lot of good. I think you could do some more research into Ocasio-Cortez and see if she aligns with you on a lot of issues, because she certainly doesn't align with me on a lot of issues, and she leans towards identity politics a lot, and her gender, and it throws me off a lot. I don't think that she's a good example of a progressive, and she's more of a Democrat than some would like to believe. Anyway, shout out to him. Shout out to Abby Martin, one of my favorite truth tellers. And shout out to my friend Steven Robles. Love you, man. He's a good truth teller too. He's just like a photographer and does posters and stuff. Check him out. And then World Domination Designs. And then my dude Brandon Burkhart. Love to have you on the show again. This is an awkward way of asking for that. But anyway, yeah, like, I'd love to hear what you have to say about some things and see how we come together on a lot of issues. Come together. Shout out to Betsy, my girl, and shout out to the world. Let's come together. Let's fight the power and win. Yes? Let's win. We can win. We just have to put our ego aside and embrace love. Like Kanye West said. Anyway, yeah. Shout out to my roommate too. He's cool. Peach. Alright, bye-bye.